Great morning, everybody out there, man. I want to talk to y'all today, man. The topic for today is going to be relationships. So I like to think about relationships like I think about bank accounts. You have your balance, you got your deposit, and you got your withdrawals. So with any bank account, we always want our bank accounts to stay in the positive. So in order for it to stay in the positive, we have to continue to make deposits. Now, if you think about relationships, this could be friendships, this could be um, it could be an actual like a relationship with your significant other. This could be relationship with your parent, or I mean just the relationships in general. So if you think about it, you want to, like I said, you want to continue to make deposits, and you don't want to make too many withdrawals, because if you make too many withdrawals, you end up in the negative. And so a lot of times I think that we as people make withdrawals and we don't balance out our account. We continue to make withdrawals without taking notice of the withdrawals that we're making. So as long as our balance is in the positive, we thinking that everything is okay. And that's not always the case, because sometimes even if you're not in the negatives per se, you could still be in the negatives with that person. So your balance could be going low on the account. So if your balance is going low on the account, you may start to notice how that, if you try to make a withdrawal, even if you are able to make the withdrawal, it doesn't feel as good as it would if you had a higher amount in your account. And so the only way to get that account back active, back to where it needs to be, is to make deposits. So you have to continue to make deposits along with making withdrawals, and you kind of want to balance the two out. If you don't learn to balance the two out, like I said, you'll either end up in the negatives, or you'll be so close to the negatives that it's almost like you're there anyway. So you just want to pay attention to the relationships that you have and make sure that you're adding deposits into each individual relationship and not just taking away from the relationship. Because if you're always taking, then if the other person can't benefit, or if you can't add anything to that person, then that relationship almost isn't, it's going to go one way or the other. It's going to end eventually. It's going to end eventually. It's going to end up with the other person nagging or doing things like that. So you kind of want to just focus in on adding those deposits and paying attention to your accounts with each individual person in your life. As you continue to pay attention to those, relationships, you'll see as you make a deposit, like just pay attention as you make deposits into other people's life, or into the relationships that you have with other people. Just pay attention to the balance that you have in those relationships. And once you start to pay attention to the balance that you have in those relationships, making a deposit and taking a withdrawal will become that much easier.